Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. I'm Elder Rawchaa, and you're tuned in to G.O.C.C. Media tonight. Shalom and barakatham. How you guys doing out there? Bless you all. Make sure you hit that like button because you know that our channels be under a shadow ban, and we want to make sure we get as many people on the broadcast as possible because we have a great show tonight. We have great shows this week. We're happy to see you guys. Hopefully everybody out there is doing blessed. All right. Sorry we couldn't be with you last week, but you know what I mean? I had to, love my neighbor as I love myself by helping them get their cattle in last week. Man, I had mosquito bites and all type of stuff, man, because it had been raining heavy out here. So it's been a, yeah, it's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on with this so-called new sickness they call hantavirus out there. I mean, I'm seeing all type of information out there. Shalom to everybody coming in. Make sure when y'all come in, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button so that we can get the people in so they can get edified. We can pull the last amount of souls you understand that we can out of this earth while we still have time. Right? Definitely. The demons are afraid, so they're doing everything in their power to try to get in front of the righteous. But I'm gonna tell you, it ain't gonna happen. They say you say Elder looking swole. Well, thank you, my brother. You know I try to stay on my game. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is key. Faith without works is dead. And I always told myself, if I don't do it, nobody will. And that's, even though that's not true, I tell that to myself so that I can motivate and encourage other brothers and sisters to stay healthy. Right? So, yeah, definitely. If this thing have something to do with rats, y'all already know. You guys already know who who should be identified first. No offense to any nation, but this is just what we see with our own eyes. The Chinese, the East Indians have rats running around all over the food. It's all over social media, all over the world, even when you travel there, I'm sure. And I'm not saying the whole country, but it's rats running around in Africa, Egypt, you know what I mean? It's these people who's eating these things and thinking that there's family. So if anybody would have this so-called virus, even though, I'm just saying it would be on those, in those places there. So I'm not too much worried about it. That's why I'm not going to even entertain it. Because when they bring these things out, you know what I mean? If people are smart, if they remember the 2020 situation, okay, that there were going to be certain side effects. And if you read, and I'm sure some of the elders are going to bring it out because I'm not focusing on that today. Some of the side effects, it says that was one of them. Okay, so on top of that, somebody brought out some information showing that means scam in Hebrew or something. So listen, I am not worrying about the next pandemic or scamdemic. Okay, I'm going to continue to teach the gospel, but we do need to let the people know, hey, there's nothing new under the sun. Don't forget what just happened a few years ago, 6 years ago, and let's stay focused. Let's be wise as serpent, harmless as doves. And that was a test run to see who was going to have fear for the next situation that will end up being the mark of the beast. Okay, so right now things are moving very fast. There's war going on. They're bringing all power back to the 10 horns so they can get their turn. Prepping for the digital dollar. You understand, bringing man-made famines, lack of water, lack of bread, all of these things. And if you guys did not watch the show that I did when it comes to self-sustenance, when it comes to agriculture, you guys might want to pay attention to it, because I think we can assume that we just put a seed in the ground and we know what we're doing. But guys, once we think we know it all, we know nothing at all. We never stop learning, and we have to continue to grow. Okay, and speaking of that topic, tonight we are not bashing women. First, let me put that out there. Anytime we have come on with a show about sisters, we always have to seem to let's say something about the brothers just to make the sisters happy. No, the truth is the truth. Most of the time we're going to be talking about men, okay? And then when we talk about women, we're talking about women. Everything is about just weights and just measures. And the great part about it is, for those who have ears, let them hear. For those brothers and sisters who listen to the lessons that we bring out and they grow from them, this is what this is about. This is not to adhere and listen to every person's opinion, every person's feeling. Because if the Most High cared about our feelings on that level, we would not be in captivity. Who feels, whose opinion, who don't feel like they want to be in captivity? Of course, we don't want to be in captivity. But the Most High doesn't care about our feelings. He cares about our actions. Okay, so that's the part that we have to understand. The Most High don't care about our feelings, and I'm not saying people's feelings aren't warranted to a certain degree. That's not what I'm saying. That people's feelings don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. But if it's not worth salvation, if it's not going to, you understand, have a solution at the end of it, and it's just never-ending drama and madness and confusion, what's the point? What do we really want? So tonight, it's for the lost. When we do lessons, it's for the lost. It's for those who are constantly growing. And as what they call black man or an Israelite, what we know ourselves to be, man, guys, let me tell you something. We've all grown up in these curses, and we've seen our aunties, our grandmas, our moms, sisters, who whatever females representation in our family, we men have hurt too, because we see good women sometimes, in so many words, possibly waste away. And some of these women, a lot of these women are good women, misguided, misled, no support, no good upbringing, trying to survive, doing the best they can with what they have. And unfortunately, sometimes it ends up in a lot of what we would call in Deuteronomy 28 in the Bible is curse-worthy situations. Walking so many different shoes, and people, selling them wolf tickets all their life. Men coming in wolf and sheep clothing, telling them, "Oh, girl, you're so pretty. You should do this. You should go strip. You should go be an actor. You should go do this," and only for them to end up with nothing at the end. And so we want to educate them tonight biblically on, especially since we're in the last days. Hey, Mary Magdalene was one of those women that the Pharisees were judging. So sometimes people, they would come in on the middle of the lesson and not understand the whole fruit of the lesson, and they would just listen to surface of it and think that people are attacking women. Well, why do all of our sisters love us and say, hey man, keep bringing that, that's helping me? No one, a father and a uncle or some type of, you understand, elder have never in my family or in the community taught me these things. I didn't know these things to be so, and I really appreciate you helping me. And a lot of women say, man, that's the puzzle piece. That's putting me back in my place. I was having to play two roles as a woman and a man, so I was never able to receive it. So that's all we're doing. We're here just as the messengers. And we promote family. That's what the scriptures promote. That's the image of God. Okay? Male and female created he them. Children. Okay? The Son of God, Christ, whom people call Jesus Christ. Okay? And whom we call my Savior, Yeshaya. Okay? Savior. The Mashiach, or the Messiah, who's coming to save our sins. And that's the spirit we must come in, not the spirit of division. The devil have already divided the families. Okay, so when you finally see a male representative, okay, a patriarch trying to come through and teach, then you will have now men who really just want to get in, you understand, to fornicate with women. Weak fornicators, whoremongers, come along and say, hey man, they're talking about women. Because really, they're mad they're not getting the attention from this woman. And now she's finally paying attention to a proper man. And she's not paying attention to some wolf in sheep clothing anymore. They become haters. No, we're still here striving the best we can to save our brothers and sisters, as long as we can. We can only do what we can because it's a two-way street. Like Christ said, it's going to be unto you as it is your faith. If you have strong faith, if you allow yourself to be contrite, drop your pride, learn again, build your foundation on solid ground. Okay, these are going to, you understand, this is going to be the way that you will be able to last long and endure to the end. Okay, among all. First, before I go into the lesson, let me make a quick announcement really quick. For those of you who may be new to the lesson, please, guys, for those of you who are just coming in, do me a favor. I know you see the T-shirt. You understand. Play of words. Instead of UGK, GOCC. You know what I mean? It's just a play on words. But, yeah, we're going to go into this announcement really, really quick. For those who may not know, we have something called a Hebrew and Bible Academy. All right. And the website is historytimes.org. This is where, first off, let me put this out there. We teach today on this channel. Tomorrow we teach on our main channel, A Gathering 144. Then we come back on this channel, G.O.C.C Media. Okay. Then we come back, on Friday on our main channel, A Gathering 144. Elder Rawchaa may come on, then he may go over to Patreon. So if you don't know about the Patreon, you're going to have to stay tuned to A Gathering 144. Then you can subscribe to the Patreon. I think it's A Gathering 144. But if not, just you'll be able to see the links on this website, gatheringofchrist.org. So we'll come on with the lesson on Friday. And then Elder Rawchaa will sometimes come on G.O.C.C Media, go to rumble.com, okay, and sometimes he will even come in on Patreon, or Elder Lawya may come on. So we have lessons Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have myself today, Elder Rawchaa tomorrow, all right, Deacon Hazak on Thursday, Elder Rawchaa on Friday, Elder Rawchaa on Friday, okay, Elder Rawchaa again on Saturday. Okay, then Elder Rawchaa again with Elder Lawya on Sunday. Okay. So, and that Sunday is going to be this Hebrew and Bible Academy you can find here on historytimes.org. Thank you, Elder Dale. We got Elder Dale out there in Detroit, Shalom, for moderating for me, right? He's been moderating for the elders all these years, putting in that work. Shalom, family. Make sure you guys hit the like button so that it can let people know that we're here, okay? So you're going to get your Sunday morning dose, okay? This academy have already started, so you can do what you need to do to get into the next one, all right? It is 3 months, $50 per month, all right? And you're going to learn so much plethora of knowledge. This is some of the lessons that we teach. For example, this academy's theme here was uncovering the past, the Bible's history, and chronology. All right. This academy's lessons: the fall and rise of Israel, the lost books of the Bible, a historical background of the Gospels, the secrets of the times, from Noah, Moses to Christ. Very important lessons that I'm going to be honest, you are not getting in the Christian church or in any other religion. You're not getting this anywhere else but here. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just telling you, this is the truth. I'm not saying we're better than anybody, but I'm telling you, you won't find out until you come in here that you've been missing this the whole time, okay? Also, you get world news on this Sunday, okay, in the beginning. World news, because, you know, living over here in America, in USA, you don't always get the proper news. So we have a team of people overseas that will give you the news. Elder Rawchaa over there, okay? And then you are also going to learn the ancient Hebrew, okay, from Elder Lawya, who does a great job with that. So you get PDF lessons, and it starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 2 p.m., okay? Not only is it a great learning environment, it also has character, personality, okay, and you understand a lot of laughter. A lot of laughter and entertainment along with learning, okay? So it's not just and it's no buffoonery or clowning around, okay? What I'm saying is this sense of humor. You're actually, you know, having fun while you're learning, okay? Which is a beautiful way to learn the Bible. It relates to, you know, our personal and modern day world in our lives today, okay? So I just want to put that out there once again. If you want to enroll, you can go to historytimes.org, okay, to enroll. Also, if you want to donate to our church, look on the screen here at the bottom of me. You can go to gatheringofchrist.org and you go to donate. All right. So we have a school, you know, that we can use donations for, and we have tithes and offerings that you can go there for. So I just wanted to give those announcements, but now let's jump into the lesson. My sisters, I'm going to open up the calls today, and I want to hear maybe if you have any, you know, short testimonies of, you know, as we go through the lesson about, you know, if you're lonely now, do you know, what would you have done before? Not necessarily in a regret type of manner, but just a reflection on maybe how to help some new sisters who are learning and think that this is being alone is an okay thing, especially in the times that we're in now, where you see all types of insurrections and all types of ICE scenarios. I mean, not only is it ICE in America now, these immigration police officers going around just sending people all over the earth. Guys, if you look at South Africa, you look at Ghana, now these countries, you understand, on that continent over there, they're kicking out other foreign Africans that are visiting their country. Now, I personally believe someone's getting paid behind the scenes to do these things, because it was just years ago that the South Africans were angry that, you understand, white Europeans were over there. We know the Bible calls them Edomites, were over there, and they were not supposed to be over there, taking over the land of those Levites over there in South Africa. But now those brothers and sisters are over there kicking out other migrant Africans that are coming to South Africa, which makes no sense. It's like, once again, we are fighting against each other. Okay, so why am I saying that you don't want to be alone in this time as a woman? Men are born for war. Not every man, but most men are born to dominate, born to protect, born to provide security. Okay, so this is really not the purpose of a woman. A woman was to be a helpmeet to that man. If she's a helpmeet to that man, obviously he would be protecting her. Thank you for all of your donations and your support. Okay, so once again, we're going into a lesson called you understand, how do I want to put it, is being lonely a good thing for our sisters? Okay, being in an independent mindset, you understand, walking around in pride for being alone and not having family, is that a good thing? It's not a good thing. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why as we go through this lesson. Usually, you know, and I'm talking about the people who think they can brag about it, the sisters who think they can brag about it like it's something good, and we're going to show a few videos on this. Usually, if there's a relationship issue with the husband and wife, and then, you know, the courts usually give the children to the woman. And what happens is the woman is raising the children, doing the best that she can. And usually she's trying to resolve her loneliness or her solitude by, you know, having her kids around. But eventually her kids have to grow up and get married, and then they leave the house. But even along the way of that, having another man come in the house, a stepfather. This is just the process of life. And a lot of times that man may not stick around, okay, because of her dealings with her first man. And I'm not saying this is every situation. This is not every situation. But she had to become hard and play both roles. She gets another man. Now, you know, she's not used to being that feminine spirit anymore. Another man comes around her. He's like, hey, man, she's a little rough around the edges. He deals with her for a little bit. She may have another baby and be in the same position again. And if she doesn't have another baby, she gets with another man. And the process goes on and on and on. And with all of these soul ties, with all of this stress, it creates anger. It creates depression. It creates frustration, confusion. And after a while, the woman gets tired. Her children, like I said, her children grow up, and she's left alone. She's having to work and provide for the children. The children leave, and she still has to provide for herself. Man, this is very rough. Not something I would want for my mom, for my auntie, for my grandmama, for any woman in my family, because this is not the way that our God intended it to be. Okay? So, we are going to get a few videos here, and then we're going to go into some scriptures to help to bring this up to speed. Okay, so first I want to go into this video, because this is actually a Edomite woman here speaking about this. So you know it's bad if you actually see an Edomite woman going through this. Now some of these curses that we were going through are now coming on the nations as well. I mean, when I was overseas working as a teacher in Africa, a lot of the Egyptian or Arab students would tell me that, you understand, that fathers would work overseas in like Saudi Arabia and in the Gulf areas, but they would never really come back home. And if they did, they barely came back home. And so the mom would just be there, no different than it goes over here with how it goes over here with our sisters raising the children. The children usually have no discipline over there. Okay, it's crazy, because when I was a PE teacher, when I was and I also taught from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. Okay, and I'm naturally good at discipline, so I'm going to make sure these kids are in order. All right. And believe it or not, when a lot of us were over there teaching, those children cleaved to us more than their own parents. Okay. Because they were missing something when it came to family. And I'm talking about a lot of us male teachers. Okay. That father wasn't around. He wasn't present. So even though it may seem like the chastisement was a little frustrating in the beginning, no different when it comes to sisters. Man might tell you something, you may not agree with it in the beginning, but you start to see like, man, this makes a lot of sense. This is what was happening with the children there. They would start to cleave to us like we were their fathers. Even the mothers would start to cleave to us because they even realize, hold up, this is actually helping my child. Now, why am I saying all of this? Because this is what God intended once again, the image of family. It's gotten so bad when it comes to feminism, when it comes to this independent mindset that was pushed all the way back, okay, with the idolatry of Nimrod and his mother, Semiramis, pushed all the way up to modern day. And we're not going to go into all of the feminism aspects here tonight. We're just sticking on one point because we have a lot of lessons with us going into the history of how it got to this point. But tonight we want to stay focused a little bit on this topic here specifically. Okay? So this white woman here, this Edomite woman that the Bible calls Esau in Edom, God calls them Edomites. All right? From Idumea. So as Israelites in our church, we are not racist. We're here to wake up everybody. Obviously to the Jew first and then also to the Gentiles. But we're not going to cheer when someone is going through what we didn't want to go through in our culture. But I wanted to show you guys that, man, the devil, man, he is all over the place. He's trying to take whatever souls he can, including the nations, obviously. So let's go to this video really quick. Let me see, can I turn the volume up? This is fair use for educational purposes only. And she's genuinely crying tears here. So this is not something that I think is humor. You know, let's look into it a little bit more and have a better understanding to where we can probably help this sister and our own culture.
Not fall for that shit because
Excuse the language.
It is not worth it. It's a joke. It's a joke.
1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
Going to a meeting. I have 3 meetings today. I have been in the corporate life for almost half my life. For context, I'm 40 years old. I have 2 children who are 11 and 7. And I fell for it. I fell for this thing where, you know, go to college, get your degree. You know, if you want to have kids, you can do it all. You can have a career, you can have kids, you can just do everything. Well, I don't want to do everything. I don't want to do that anymore. I fell for that shit. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for that shit. I want to take my kids to school. I want to pick them up from school. I want to be there when they...
Now, don't forget, the Edomite women were the frontliners when it came to the feminism. And our sisters and brothers want to follow everything that the nations do. But now you're starting to see them even speak about it. We shouldn't need them to do anything before we make a move. We should stick to following our God, because following these nations is what's got us here in the first place. The idolatry and wanting to be like the other nations, right? She's sitting here saying, hey, I don't want to play both roles anymore. I'm tired. Guys, they can act like in front of everybody, and you guys, if you're one of these type of women, can act like you know you're not tired of running this rat race. But when you go home at night, you know you are tired as hell. Will make you from playing both roles if you don't have to be. A woman who maintained her husband, a woman who's taking care of her husband, instead of just being a helpmeet, is full of anger and reproach. She's full of blame. She's full of frustration because she's having to play these two roles. And she shouldn't have to. But check it out. It's one thing to grind with your husband. Go, get it out the mud with your husband until y'all work together as a family to make sure that you are not going to have to do that forever, but you're going to put in the sacrifices and help me. But then there's another thing to go with pride and be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm independent, even though you got a husband, but in your mind, you're still independent and you don't necessarily need him. Right? So she's like, listen, I'm tired. I'm totally tired. And brothers, we know how it feels to see our grandmothers, mothers, and all of our sisters out there lonely. We know how we don't want to see them like that. Let's be honest. We don't want to see them, especially if we know that they were good women and they tried to do right by that man. Even with some of their flaws. At the end of it all, when you see that woman, you just feel, you're like, man, you just wish you could just help everybody. You like, man, I can only be a husband to one wife. You know what I mean? For some of these other women out here, you just be feeling bad. And then you got the people, the women in your family, you praying for them. So this tonight, I hope it brings some type of resolve. Somebody comes across this video to see, like, you know what? Let me slow down. Let me focus on my relationship with the Most High God. Because ultimately, before we finish this video, that's what's going to possibly make it to where you don't have to be lonely. You have to come out of this whole worldly mindset, this toxic, confusing worldly mindset. And I'm going to tell you the secret sauce. Find Christ. Love Christ. Find Christ. Don't think about a man yet. And he will help you to find that husband or join that husband to you. Because at the end of the day, a man who is seeking the Most High God, he is seeking to be a husband and not a whoremonger. But in the world, you will not find a true godly husband. You can just get, I met this new guy. Oh, it didn't work out with him. Then you go to the next one, and you don't even give yourself no rest. Oh, he sounds good. And a lot of sisters know you don't give it no time because you're not telling anybody you can't stand being alone. Don't lie to yourself. You can't stand being alone. You got to go hang out with the home girls and do stuff and keep yourself busy, which is good because you want to be positive. Right? And you like, man, I've been reading this Bible. I'm stuck in a room just reading the Bible, fasting and praying all day. I want a husband. And it's okay. So that's why these type of lessons come out. Hey, get yourself together. Work out. Start working out. Find the right type of company. Don't be hanging at your homegirl house too long if you know she got a husband because you're going to get in the way of her duties. You start doing the things that for Christ that you know you should be doing for a husband. Loving Christ, putting him first like you would put a husband first. Put Christ first as if he was that example of a husband, even though he's not your husband. And he will see your obedience and hopefully put you in the way of a husband. All right? But let's continue.
Home, I want to chaperone for them, volunteer at school. I just want to go to the gym, clean my house, do laundry, go to the grocery store, and just be home. So do me a favor.
So Esau, white people out there, what you have pushed on us have now, and I'm not saying this as if this is a good thing, it have now backfired on you. Woe to those that call good evil and evil good. It will be recompensed to your bosom. You will get paid back to it for you and your children. So this didn't only, if you think it was just going to target us, it have also targeted you and your children. See, the Most High doesn't like a false witness. He doesn't like hate. He says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you don't do that, okay, hey, there was an old law, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And because Esau is carnal, he's still under that law. You kill by the sword, you shall die by the sword. Those that bring people into captivity shall go into captivity. Because Esau is still under that old law, he's still getting judged by that old law. So now the things that came on our people that we thought we should walk around with pride, listen, it's starting to affect your forefathers, Esau. So if you want resolve too, like we're trying to give our people, you also, because listen, hey, you got into it so much, and then you started following our sisters trying to be black and do all of that too, and thinking you can play that same game they playing, and then you end up lonely. It's spiritual, mind-boggling, psychological slavery.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick.
Let's go to the next one.
Do not fall for that shit, because it is not worth it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't do it. Be home, find a way to be home, be with your family, be with your kids. Just, it's not worth it. None of this is worth it. So.
And this sister probably has a husband. But the mindset, even though she had a husband, it's the pride that's involved with this independent feminist mindset. I got a husband at home, but I'm the one. It's all about me. You acting as if you're Kali. That he got to bring gifts before you. Put gifts before you like you're some Christmas tree or some idol or something like that. It gets tiring. So we're gonna go through a few scriptures. I got some more videos here. But we're gonna go through a few scriptures too. But man, I feel for that sister. I feel for her. I do. Let me see if this is the next one I wanted here. One moment. Check this out. This Pop the Balloon show. I mean, to be honest, fair use for educational purposes only. It's an embarrassment for us to be on a Pop the Balloon show, honestly. It is, honestly. Like we shouldn't be 35 and over on some show. This is an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment. Okay, what's going on here? What happened to the volume? One moment, guys. Let me see what's going on with this volume thing. What is going on? Okay. One moment. I don't know what's going on with that. Whoa. She said, and I'm not making fun of this sister, but this shows either a lack of parenthood in the house, consistent parenthood, or a good upbringing. This is like a small form of mental illness here, because she wants somebody consistent, but she is too low. All right. I got you guys. She wants somebody consistent, but she comes on her and says she's just living. So we don't know if that's the truth just yet, because she just started talking, but it's already starting off where it's scaring brothers, because you're supposed to come in there as a helpmeet, and they're like, if you just living, what type of burden am I about to get myself into? It's scary for men, because what we just talked about earlier is that, hey, maybe she has a few kids and we're not judging her. Maybe she's been, what they call modern day, say she got a lot of bodies on her. That's what they say nowadays. Or maybe she's been with, multiple men, and men, they try to have grace, but they, it's like, hey, I'm on here looking for a wife. This is how bad it is in our community, where you got sisters on there looking for love. Brothers on there looking for love. Now, we do know some people come there to market themselves for modeling and try to get roles on TV and all that. And some people come on there as comedians. But some people truly are coming on here for love, thinking that they're actually going to find love. So one, my sister's coming on here. She don't really have any clothes on. She has on bedroom attire. So the first thing that I have to teach the sisters who may not know, if you're not a church-going girl or something like that, when you have on bedroom attire, it can be a righteous man, a wicked man, a fornicator. A man is a man first. You got on bedroom attire. A man's programming is to be fruitful and to multiply. So it's not that y'all can't hear it? One moment then. I don't know why y'all wouldn't be able to hear that one, because you can hear the Instagram one. Let me fix these little things really quick. 1 second. Let me know, can you hear it now? 1 second.
I like to spend monies, eat. I'm real chill though, so
Let me know, can y'all hear it now?
Okay.
Can y'all hear it yet?
Yeah.
And what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers, a liar.
Can y'all
I
hear
don't really
it?
have too many deal breakers.
Can y'all hear it now? Say con if you can. Sometime this thing like just pauses out or something. Can y'all hear it now? Okay. Yeah, I see. Sometime it does that. I don't know why it does that. But anyway, what I'm saying is she comes on the show and this is like a marketing tool. Let me show a little skin here, whether that's her intentions or not. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So I'm not judging her off of this. Maybe her mom said, hey, put on a little less and this is how you get a man. But this is actually not how you get a righteous man. This is how you get a whoremonger or a man who just wants to be around for a short time. Okay, so if sisters don't know that, if you weren't taught that, I'm going to tell you right now. Men who are not weak to the carnal flesh and don't have a fleshly mind. I mean, all men are men, but it's not that deep for them. They're really not looking for a woman like that. That's something in the world they pay a little money to, and I'm trying to be respectful, just to have a good time. But if you want to get married, you come the best you can, as if, and I wouldn't say put on a role, but if you really truly want to get married and settle down, you would come as that. So you got to have some common sense here. Like, do I want a husband or do I want a man who's going to focus on something else and not my inner person? All right. And you, a lot of you out there may say, well, Elder, common sense will tell you people know this. Well, guys, we would think that a lot of women know this. That's not the truth. I've sat down with a lot of women through my life, and some women have bird brains, meaning they were not taught anything. They were not taught how to clean themselves. They were not taught about their cycles. They were not taught about a lot of things, and it wasn't their fault. So we can assume everyone knows everything, but that's not necessarily true all the time. Okay? Matter of fact, when I was a young man, I had saw more of that than anything. I'm like, a lot of these sisters is out here alone, then went through so many things and got molested and some of them you can't actually save, no matter what you do. You get what I'm saying? So that, we can pray for them.
I feel like lying is like the biggest thing for me.
So let me bring it back since y'all can hear it now.
Spend monies, eat for fun. Good job. Knows how to make their moves without somebody telling them.
Okay.
That's like the basics.
Okay. And then before we get to deal breakers, what are some things you like to do for fun?
For fun, I like to spend monies, eat.
Uh-oh. She just living, but she like to spend money. She has a whole list. Let's see if she would listen to, the man's list. Once again, we are just examining the video here. We're not judging this sister.
Eat. I'm real chill though, so I just be in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers, a liar. I don't really have too many deal breakers. I feel like lying is like the biggest thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, got it. So we did get pop balloons.
Got all the pop balloons.
Let's go see why they ended up popping. Let's start here. Your name and age, and why did you pop your balloon?
I'm Braylon. I'm 27. And the reason I popped, I love the hair, the outfit, it all looks nice, but just the fact that I don't know what it entails of you just chilling, you know, I don't know what that means. Like, are you not working or?
Brother, you got the answer wrong. You just sat up there and lied. And every man who, if you going on pop the balloon to find a wife, you just lied to this woman, unless you was brought up wrong. You gonna tell this girl you like the outfit, knowing when you get home, you're gonna tell her she can't wear that when she goes out if you're a real man. So you listen, just be truthful right away. Just, brothers, she's not gonna change what she changed into when she came to the show. So don't even pick her if she got that on right now. Just telling you right now, don't waste your time with that. So this is another thing how men can lead women into this. You are leading them to think this is okay. I like the outfit. Don't tell her a lie that you like the outfit, because the more men she hears this from, she gonna keep that stuff on. Man like me be like, sis, you all right? you need a jacket? You know what I mean? You need something? You know, well, what you mean? Well, nobody never told me that. Yeah. So, and believe it or not, they actually start to like men who tell them what to do. They're starting to already get back into their nature. And men know what I'm talking about. You ever went to a woman and all the guys telling her everything she want to hear, but you be that one dude just keeping it real, like you not drooling over her. You not tripping about it. You right? You just like, hey, how you doing? You good? All right, have a blessed one. And she's wondering why you not all over her like all these other dudes. Before you know, she all over you. Okay? And that's what we have to be. We have to be what the Most High made Adam to be. Teachers. Leaders.
No, I work, but I'm just living. Like, I'm retiring this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But that was the reason I just didn't know. Like,
She
if you were
retiring
just
already too.
homebody, did you not work? Like,
Oh,
I didn't
no,
know.
I work a lot. I got like 3 jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And now, is he someone that you type if he approached you?
I think he's handsome.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go on here. Your name and age, and why did you pop your balloon?
Khalil 30, and just based off of him, what he said, I don't know what just chilling
living?
means, just living means. I want a career-driven woman for
Yeah.
sure, and retiring. How old are you?
25.
At 25, yeah, I'm not there as well, so yeah, that's really why.
Got it. Now, is he someone that's your type?
I think he's handsome.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go on here.
Now, the brothers are coming on there because brothers get all the bad rap. But you know, if this wasn't Pop the Balloon and some of these men, you know, were fornicators, they probably try to holler at her on the side. But you see, when it comes on here, if supposed to be looking for a wife, they're like, nah, this ain't it. And you also see them actually giving her grace, because they could have been like, hey, this outfit is not really it. But they're not how people try to make it seem like men be judging women all the time. No, they didn't even, they're actually giving her grace right here. But they definitely are saying like, hey, I don't know what just chilling means. You're trying to retire at 25. Sound like the sister been through a whole lot. So usually I would give let me tell you, sisters, I would give a young sister some advice. And this is just my advice. A lot of times in jobs, if you getting a man your same age or a little older, a lot of times their pay from their jobs won't advance even sometimes until they become a certain age. Not in every scenario, but it's a lot of scenarios where men won't even get paid a certain amount unless they have their own business or unless they're a certain age and grow tenured in the job. So you want this handsome, cute guy where you can stay home, and you may possibly find him, but the whole deal is you might want to look for somebody a little older if you want to just stay home and just be a housewife, because it's slim pickings out here when it comes to these paychecks. So if you want it like that to be spoiled, one, you got to have all your stuff in order. If he can't come home and you are playing the video game, you are on the phone talking to your homegirl, the clothes ain't washed, all of these things you claim you wanted is not done. A young man will argue with you. A older man will put his foot down and say, hey, is this or that? So young men, that's what y'all have to understand. Beware about these type of situations. You spoiling her too early. You know what I mean? Like, hey, build something first together. Build something. See if she's down to build with you. Instead of just taking and want to be princess and just be all on Instagram and just, showing herself off. But what is she actually for? Just outside of looking pretty and carnal. How does she prove that she gonna be with you through the ups and downs? Right? Because Eve was there to help Adam. Not just look pretty and say, oh, I'm just chilling. And then he come home and he's like, hey, and she has an attitude and she's not, doing her part to help him out if he's been working all day. So I'm just giving a little wisdom. It's not a law. I'm telling you from experience what I've seen. A lot of young women want the young men oh, he's so handsome. Yeah. Does that mean the older men are not handsome? Of course. They're handsome with experience. They're handsome with experience, but it's kind of unfair to think that a young man that's in his 20s is going to be able to provide what a man who have experience and tenured is just going to be able to give you all of that. He's still growing and learning about himself. So it's some young mature men, but I'm not going to sit here and act like all young men in their 20s. When you in your 20s, you're a total different man. I'm telling you right now, you are learning, bumping your head, making mistakes, trying to find out who you are. And if you pick that woman like this who want to chill and ain't trying to do too much, that's just going to be on you. All right? Look at the brother here. Look at the brother over there. He was trying to see what is going on right now. Brothers is like, what is she about to say next? You said the volume went down again? Oh, man, what is going on tonight with this thing here? I apologize. I don't know what is going on right now. I have no clue what that is going on. Let's see now.
Working is not going to be a forever thing for me. Okay. I don't see myself continuing to work. I feel like the money, I'm just going to laugh. It's going to fall out the sky. I feel like the universe be providing for me.
1 second. What is going on here tonight? It has to be Facebook.
Me, and I would have liked to hear a little more just in regards to some of your values and things that you like to do, what you kind of like in a man, things like that.
It has to be Facebook server. Sometimes Facebook is like that. Facebook has a lot of issues with their server.
Of a little more substance, and then you kind of just mentioned the universe too. I don't really, like that whole new age spirituality kind of stuff, so that's not something that I could rock with personally. But
there you go, brother. Now my brother said, hold up. This sounds like a new age witch type of vibe. When you start to talk about spirituality and you're not concrete on what you believe in, this is, hey, brothers, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
But, yeah.
Understood. And now, if he were to approach you, is he someone you would go for?
No.
Okay. And why not?
Like, if I was out walking, I probably wouldn't do a double take. But I think you like are dressed really nice. I like people that dress up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's going over here. Your name and age, and why did you pop your balloon?
Yep, Messiah 28. I'm a constant grinder. I need a shark. My brand, no bands, no service. So that's just me. So I'm working till a billion. So that's it, really.
Okay. I heard a chuckle. Why?
I don't know, like y'all pop y'all balloons or whatever. Yeah. What's the question?
Like when he mentioned like his brand and all that, you can't.
I'm a worker, so I was like,
I mean, I feel like I didn't really get to explain myself, but that's like how I feel about my life though. Like I am just living, but like I literally work 24/7. Like I have multiple jobs. Like you would probably not even have enough time to talk to.
It sounds like sis is kind of getting a little frustrated, and because of the denial, a little embarrassed. Like, hey, you guys are not letting me you didn't let me really explain myself. Well, sis, you got the whole platform right now. You got the mic in your hand right now to, you could have said, hey, I'm not just chilling. I work so much. I'm a little frustrated. To be honest, it's just very rough. Be honest. Be contrite. Be humble. Now, maybe she don't know how to express herself like that, and maybe she's a little shy being put on the spot. I don't know. But I think that if she would have came on and said, you know what, I work a lot. It's been rough. I think the guys would have had even a little bit more grace on her. But to come on here, you understand, and just kind of like say, hey, I'm chilling. I don't know what's going on. What did you expect? Right? So like I said, she could be totally shy, afraid, I don't know. But she's starting to feel that rejection.
Me. But
yeah, because I'm probably on the
yeah,
same
but everybody
scale,
popped their balloon, so yeah.
Yep.
But do you see why they did? Because when I said, what do? You didn't
feel
say
like-
you had a job or anything. So I think they thought you were like
Just
unemployed.
living, yeah, because I'm like just living. I'm like for myself. I'm living with purpose. I'm money motivated. I'm
I don't
trying
feel
to
like
get
that
it.
should be anybody's purpose in life to just
Oh, not
be
at all. Not at all.
making
not at all.
monies. But
Not at
I
all.
understand.
Yeah,
I'm not in that mindset anymore.
yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And now is he someone that's your type?
I think he's handsome. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's head on down this way. Your name and age, and why did you pop your balloon?
Keyshawn, 28. You said retire, and then you said you 25. So, like, what does retire mean?
So I can't go through the whole thing. I mean, I think I went through a lot on that to show you what some of our sisters are going through. And I remember, man, when I was young, talking to some sisters, I mean, they can't even have like an intellectual conversation. They will be giggling, and you be like, what's funny? Oh, nothing. And it's just like playing around. So I'm gonna tell you, this is why it's very important for a father and a mother to try to raise their children. Now, this is where we are now. A lot of brothers and sisters didn't grow up having that. So we're really just trying to fix it currently where we are. But just, bringing out, you understand, a circle of information and trying to examine it all simultaneously. But we can only fix what we can. And like Christ said, this is for those who have ears to hear. Okay, so let me go through a few scriptures before I go to the next video. Okay. I want to open up the lines tonight to see some experience or testimony from some sisters about this show tonight. Maybe it will help some other sisters that's out there. Because isolation is not the way that God designed it when it comes to independence. So we'll go to Genesis 2:18 for that really quick. Genesis 2:18, back to the beginning. Let me get that really quick, and I'll put it on the screen. Okay. Genesis 2:18. Let's run through a few of these scriptures really quick before we go to our next video. And the Lord God said, we're reading from the King James Version. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. So if it was not good for the man to not be alone, why? And the man is the one that has the strength, power. He was put over all the animals before Eve even existed. If it's not good for man to be alone, why would it be good for woman to be alone? Think about it. I think I showed not too long ago on one of my shows that They put men and women on an island, and then the men were celebrating. They learned how they made fire. Excuse me. They were fishing. They didn't made a net. They didn't did all types of things to survive. The women were over there crying, not knowing what they were going to do. Once again, this is not what God intended. He didn't even intend for man to be alone. So why would he intend for women to be alone? This was a satanic injection, a satanic manipulation. And now look where we are. They're over there in, what's that country? Was it Sweden? I don't know. It's one of these countries where they're trying to scientifically make it to where men can have babies with each other. Because the women did not stand by their man and fight together to stop this crap and to say hell to the no. Right? So let's jump to verse. Let me see. Let's go down to the middle of verse 19. Adam called every living creature that was the name thereof. Let's go to verse 20. Adam gave names to all the cattle and the fowl of the air. He was in dominion. He was over them alone. But even the Most High said, hey, it's not good for him to be alone. Let's read. And to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found a helpmeet for him. So if Adam didn't find if God is looking at it, if the Most High is looking at it like, hold up, this brother's working hard. Excuse me. He's working hard. I want to bless him with someone. He didn't bless Adam with a helpmeet or a woman who came from the womb. That's why it's called woman. Woman. From the womb of a man. He didn't bless the man with a woman to just then come back and separate them if in the beginning his intentions were for Adam not to be alone. Okay? We fell away from the basics. Okay? And the Lord God, verse 21, caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he womb man. W-O-M-B, from the womb of a man, woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man's womb. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother once he grows old enough and irresponsible enough, and shall cleave unto his wife. Together, twain, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. So that is the way that the Most High God intended it from the beginning. Let's go to Galatians 6:3. So we're now having to put some of these scriptures in place for women today because of their pride that Satan have deceived them with. Now, we're not talking about all women. We're talking about women who have fallen to this. Okay? Unfortunately. Galatians 6:3. And we're bringing this out to help them to come back, to wake up as that valley of dry bones. Okay? Galatians 6:3. Let you try to open a pickle jar. Your hand's too small and you can't get that pickle jar. And then you get, honey, can you open this? And man, hit the bottom of that thing. Bop. He popped that thing and he opened that jar. That's when you realize you need a man. Don't you? I can't reach this on the cabinet. Huh? Yeah. Come on now. You want to smell perfume, the perfume? Listen, that doesn't represent security. It's roughness to smoothness. Okay? That's how God made it. For if a man or a woman think himself or herself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Now Satan made the woman think that she is a man. So now you are considered nothing to the Most High, and you will be lonely. This is what happened. We're reading it right here. Let's just read it in the terms of woman. For if a woman think herself to be something when she is nothing, she deceiveth herself. So if she thinks she's a man, she's not a man. She can never be a man. So she is going to, by default, be lonely, because no man of God is going to stay with another man to be fruitful and multiply. The more you sound like a man, act like a man, it's going to run a true man off. But let every man prove his own work, then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not the other. So if women were to do what they were supposed to do, they can rejoice to the Most High, because he will bless them with the fruits of their labor for having their husbands back. Right? Verse 7. Let's go to verse 7. Be not deceived, for God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So now that we have followed the ways of the enemy, this is where we are. No families. You go over. When I went overseas as a young man in my 20s, I was 24 years old when I went overseas. And I was like, everybody's a virgin? It was like the most amazing thing I had. Even though the people are worshiping other gods and doing what they do, I had to give some type of acknowledgement to the Most High. Like, this actually exists. I remember when we were in school and we were young, man. Even in middle school, people were fornicating, guys. They were telling me young girls had already been with 100 guys and all this stuff. I'm like, good gracious. Here I am. I'm just a little boy trying to do my work in 6th grade. And I'm just hearing all this stuff. I'm like, Father, have mercy. I didn't even know what this stuff was about. Wasn't thinking about it. But I was just hearing all of these profane words, profanity, and sexual content. And Esau, he put us in this environment, knowing that our parents would tell us something at home. We would go to school and still indulge in all of this madness, whether we wanted to or not. Right? And so now we're here. Girls getting pregnant at 15, 14, 13, 16. Which is going to make it hard for them to have a husband later, because usually a young man who has a baby with you that young, he can't take care of it. He going to run away. If his parents don't be like, you better leave that fast, girl. And then if it's an older dude, a lot of times, he either walks away, disappears, or he's beating on the girl. So this is where we are now. What a man soweth, he shall also reap. So if women sowed pride comes before the fall. Now we're here where it's war. All sorts of things are going to happen where women will need protection. And if they at least don't have a husband, they can have a strong guide as a spiritual leader of the Most High God. A carnal man will fall, just like the giants. The giants were bigger than all of us, and they were carnal. It's not about how big and strong you are. It's about the strength of the Most High God, that in the wisdom in his mind to lead a man. Right? So, we're going to go to our next video after this scripture. Strength is unity. It's not independence. 2 is better than 1. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. Two are better than one. Don't let nobody come around here talking about, and even if you're a man, you should learn when you become mature, you can't do everything alone. Some of us just didn't want to burden people with our burdens, and that's a good thing, because you try your best to be responsible. But when you have a body, you don't have to do everything alone. When you have a husband and wife, you have a brother or sister, friends, loved ones. You have to do everything alone. We're tribal people. I'm not talking about lazy people who want others to do their work. Okay? Who have no faith but just want to live off of others' faith. We're not talking about that. So I just wanted to put that out there too. But let's get back focused on the woman to help our sisters. Pride. If you're a sister walking around in pride and you know you're hurting inside and trying to just be strong and do it all alone, give it to Christ. It's not going to be easy when you give it to him either. You will go through some things. The devil will try to make your life worse. But if you endure, you shall be saved out of it. If you resist the devil, he shall eventually flee from you. But it will not be easy. A lot of times when we were in the world, we were just going through things of life, trying to learn, trying to gain experience. And the devil had us to a certain degree. But once you come into the truth, here comes the real attack. So check it out in verse 9. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. Okay? So if a husband and wife agree, okay, I mean, the Bible preaches this the whole way. How good is it for brethren to dwell together in unity? 2 can't walk together unless they agree. If a man and a woman is in a house and God set the order with a man and they can't agree, if they can't ultimately agree through all of their small, minute disagreements, eventually there will be a block of blessings. It will. That's what will happen. So when 2 are together, you can accomplish something even faster because you have help. Verse 10, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth. Come on, sisters, you don't want to be alone when you fall. If a man don't want to be alone, you don't want to be alone. Imagine physically trying to pull yourself up from a mountain. A man can barely do such a thing, even though he would do pull-ups every day. Let alone most women can't even pull themselves up. And I'm not saying that because obviously men are supposed to. They were born strong. But I'm saying like walking around in pride for what? If a man thinking himself to be something when he is really nothing, right? What are we doing here? You need that man. It's nothing wrong with being able to need a man. A man needs a woman too. God saw it. But he was here alone handling business. So if anybody's definitely going to need somebody, it would definitely be the woman needs the man. Because a man going to survive. But I'm talking about in a sense where a man wants to be comforted too. And that's where his woman comes along and rubs his back and comforts him after a hard day of work. And he protects her, makes sure she's good. And it's a just weight and just measure. Perfect balance. Unified love under the Most High. Right? So, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth. For he had not another to help him up. And if 2 lie together, then they have heat. Check that out. When David was old and going through it, what do they put by him? They put a woman by him to cause heat. They definitely ain't finna put another dude by him for no heat. This is what they do in modern day. There's just weights and just measures. Right? But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So common sense will tell you it is not good to try to do and be alone in every instance. Proverbs 16:18 says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before the fall. Yeah, Proverbs 16:18. I want you to see it for yourself. I'm not making it up. Let me put it on the screen for you. This is what everybody's doing, walking around haughty. Look at that. Walking around head high, haughty. If you are a what they call black sister, because the reason why I'm saying it like that, because I don't know why we're so deceived that think just because we're black, we're all the same. We're not. Obviously, we're not the same. Blacks are kicking other blacks out in Africa. How do we know which blacks are which ones? If you understood the Bible, God did not call them just black. He called them by nations of people. Ethiopians are black, but they are not from the same bloodline as us. Well, everybody comes from Shem, Noah, and Ham, and Shem, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japhet. That's what they will all say. Well, God said he was going to make different nations. Okay, so we're not the same as the Egyptians. The Egyptians are more the same with the East Indians and the Somalians and the Ethiopians than us. They're Hamites, we're Shemites. Two different people. So when we say black, we're talking about what they call us today, Negro. Okay, we're not African. We are Israelites, Hebrews. All of the Hispanics, Native Indians, Pacific Islanders, they even found Hebrew in some of the caves of Puerto Rico. And you got to go to the hoods to see the real black tribes. Not that some of the ones who have turned, bright colors are not our people, because the nations have mixed among them. That's not what I'm saying. That's why we call the lost tribes of Israel. But these are the people of God. Okay? Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before all. So what I was saying earlier is that the Most High, with the daughters of Zion, if you're a black woman in America, from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, he made your scalp to bald. He took away all of the things that made you to be beautified, that you now have to use modern day, that actually make your hair bald, cause cancers, all types of tumors and cysts and fibroids and things like that, because of the haughty spirit. See, when our sisters are coming back to the Most High, they're finding the natural ways to do things, and a lot of the curses are coming off of them. Because the Most High, he's giving them grace because they are becoming contrite. They got in that water, got baptized, repented from their sins, and he gives them a clean slate. Hey, I'm going to start using this on my hair. I'm going to start eating this and doing this. Because they're listening, he opens up wisdom, the fountains of wisdom, to show them direction. He's not going to just give full blessings right away, because we have to endure to the end to prove that we deserve to get in the kingdom. That's why Christians can't keep saying, I'm saved. You're not saved. He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay? Verse 19 says, better is it to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil of the proud. Why? Satan will give you and take it away quickly. And I'm going to show you a sister who has been broken, for example, and you'll see her before she became this broken person. Very sad, because I was like, whoa. Let me get that really quick. How they changed this sister. I'm going to show y'all this really quick. You're going to be shocked. Some of you already know it, but one second. Fair use for educational purposes only. So I want to show you. Watch this. I don't want to give. Yeah, let me get her right there. I want to show y'all. Look at this sister, Cynthia Erivo. This is what happens that we just read about pride. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. This sister was singing before her fall a song called, no pun intended, Stand Up. She was singing a song called Stand Up, which means you're standing up tall. But what does the scripture says? Pride goeth before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall. She was singing Stand Up, and now she have fallen. She have been seduced by these demons. Beautiful voiced sister. Look at how this sister is looking now. Like a witch. Like a demonic witch. And I think they made this sister play Christ. She is obsessed with Ariana Grande. They have her looking like a total witch. She has an obsession with another witch. It looks like her hands have even grown, guys. It is crazy. She looks like a beast, with all due respect. She has taken on a character, and she have stayed in character. So I'm going to show you who this sister used to be, because now they got her looking like a, no disrespect, a reptilian, a spirit of darkness. And I hate this for this sister, because I'm going to tell you, I didn't know she sung that song until I was like, wait, are you serious? Are you serious? I didn't know who this sister was at first. Right? And I'm just like, whoa, are you telling me this is the same sister? So let's see you understand how she got to this dark spirit, which is not a good representation, because remember, they were angels, and then the Most High gave them over to a dark spirit when they had fallen to earth. Check this out. Fair use for educational purposes only. I didn't know this was the same sister who was singing this beautiful music. Fair use. We do not own the rights to this music, but I'm showing this for educational purposes only, and religious purposes, to show how you want to come into this, and this is man or woman, but right now we're talking about women, come into this Hollywood scenario. You come in here beautiful like Rihanna and Beyonce. Before you know it, you leave out a Queen Bee or a Riri or whatever. Even Ariana Grande was more beautiful, and she had a little weight on her. Now she just looked like a little fairy, which is a demon. Huh? Let's see how they have tainted our sisters with this pride. This is outright mad and sad. I'm like, you mean to tell me this sister went from that, from this to that?
Where is she?
They couldn't have her standing up singing for our people.
Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulder.
151 million views 6 years ago.
A bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run.
I got eyes in the back of my head in case I have to run. Right? A guide. The Most High is that wisdom to guide our people.
I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
made it 100 miles to freedom. Would you like to pick a new name?
Now look how beautiful.
To mark your freedom.
Look how beautiful this Judite sister is. Still got spirit in her before she was taken. Powerful heavenly voice. Let me tell you, when you join forces with the dark side, you don't have to join Hollywood to become like this sister. You know, when our sisters are out there, sometimes I'm going to the store and I hear our sisters talking out loud, and I'm just like, man, our poor sisters are going through it. I'm out there just pumping some gas, and you know, you can hear a sister's whole conversation. It's like, you know, the Most High says, he says, I love a quiet, silent woman, not a woman who don't talk. I don't want a woman who ain't gonna talk to me. We just don't want a woman who gonna talk back and get crazy. And we understand sometimes there's going to be disagreements and things like that, but we don't want a woman who ain't going to talk. Of course not. But a silent woman means a woman who keeps integrity, respect, and honor for herself, her God, and her husband. So our sister went from that to this. My goodness. This is totally crazy. Is this what we want? On top of that, let us go to my sister don't even have her hair. Not that sisters don't look good with short hair, but what I'm saying is that's not my opinion to put on sisters who wants to wear their hair a certain way, because our sisters look beautiful, hey, whatever way. But the whole deal is, you know, I'm going according to the scriptures, is all I'm saying. This is not my personal thing here. Our sisters look fly with the short joint. They beautiful in and out. Okay, caramel, chocolate, vanilla, hey, all of it. Okay? But let's look according to the scriptures. 1 Corinthians 11 has an order according to God. Be ye followers of me, Paul said, even as I also am of Christ. So if I'm a teacher, not being a hypocrite here, follow me in the ways of Christ. Like Christ said, hey, follow me because I'm coming in to do the will of my Father. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So you have that order. We all know this order, right? Those of you who have been in the church, but those who are not in the church and have not heard this from pastors, it's okay. This is the order. The head of every man is Christ. So you got Christ and you got the man, and the head of the woman is the man. Maybe you've never heard this, my sister out there, my lonely sister out there. But this is possibly why you're lonely, because you don't understand this order. This is very important. If you want a godly marriage, you must keep it in the lines, in the parameters of the way that God made it and intended for it to be. Maybe you were taught another way. Maybe your mom or your grandmama or your auntie said, no, you got to look out for you. You got to keep a little extra money in the, you know what I mean, in here, in the wall and under the mattress, just in case. You got to keep you some extra numbers on the phone, just in case. No. You got to put your trust and faith, because guess what? The scripture says there's no fear in love. But first you must learn how to love Christ. And the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. The Most High, Christ, man, woman. Right? Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonoreth his head. So the men must uncover their head when they're praying. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. Check it out. Our sister right here has long, beautiful hair. Some of our sisters get in so much of a rush. You remember how I was teaching you guys, side note, about the garden? And how if you want a godly garden full of nutrition, you must use the old ancient ways of regenerating when it comes to agriculture. Not NPK fertilizer from the store. I'm not against you and what you're doing. I'm telling you the truth. It takes patience to receive that type of fruit. Notice how y'all, whoever grew dreads, you notice how you start growing the dreads, they seem like they're at a standstill, they're not growing. Once you got them for like a year and a half, they just start flowing, growing. Your hair and your scalp is no different than the ground. You feed it nutrition, almond oil, olive oil, oils that are edible to eat. That thing start growing. But you want to rush it. You want to make it straight like other, you know what I mean, the nation's hair and all that. And you putting too much heat to your hair. You overdoing it. Okay, every now and then, whatever. Every now and then you put that broad fork in the ground just to break the soul up a little bit. Okay, but you want to perm it. You want to put the just for me. No. All of these things was a part of the curse to take your hair away through disobedience. A shorn head is not necessarily a good thing, which is why sisters are now they know and they feel that in their conscience that the men want women with long hair because that's the men's nature. And when I say long hair, if a sister decides to cut her hair, if she's beautiful, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying hair like feminine. They want to show our sisters always on TV looking rough is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about a hairstyle today. I don't want sisters to go home, oh, I got short hair. My man don't love me because that's not what I'm talking about. That's the style. You just got a little style going on right now, but you're feminine. You're walking in the righteous spirit. We're modern day Israelites, okay? I get it. But I'm talking about how they try to make our sisters look like niggas online. And why did I say it like that? Because that's the truth. They try to make the sisters seem rough. They will have sisters looking more rough than men in shows. You'll have a black dude on The Walking Dead. You'll have black dudes on all of these shows like and then you'll have one hard dude in there and the rest of the black dudes soft. And then they got the woman harder than the man. This is why they do that. Right? So she wasn't shaving here. But then over here, look what happened. All of the glory is gone because she's turning to a transgender type of woman. Shalom, my sister Tramika. Y'all hit that like button if you just came in. So I'm just bringing according to scriptures what I see with my own eyes and what you see. We're not making this up. And I pray that this sister can return back to her former self. And even better than that, get baptized in Christ so she can sing those praises to the Most High God. And not be used by the enemy. For if the woman, verse 6, be not covered, let her also be shorn or shaven. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. If it's known that a woman, it's saying, is a shame when she gets shaved, because that's how it was in ancient culture, because the glory of the woman is her hair, then cover your hair, because that's the rules of God. Man, let me tell you, man, falling for the okie doke, we all did, men and women. But like I said, tonight is just, let me bring something out of our sister now, saying that they were tricked. We had an Edomite woman coming at first saying that they were tricked. Fair use for educational purposes only. Now, this is a Israelite sister, or what they modern day call black sister.
Yep, they tricked us. They had black women thinking that we need to keep up with men, that we gotta be bosses and be independent women. They tricked us. I just came from working every day, my own business. I opened and I closed there. I had no time for my family. I had no time for my husband. I had no time because I was tired. I had no time for my kids. I had other people getting them off the bus and not knowing what's going on with my older son. They tricked us, y'all. That's why black women are right now the #1 group getting diagnosed with autoimmune disorders, cancers. Many of these autoimmune disorders come from stress. When we try to live in our masculine. But they tricked us. They tricked us into living in our masculine when we should be living in our feminine.
And some of y'all still falling for it. You've been tricked, but now it's time to wake up out of that and right the ship.
I'm glad that some of our people are taking the wool off of their eyes, because it's high time to wake, you understand, out of sleep. Here's another version of sisters who have something to say about this, which is good, because this is usually what you hear: the strong black woman, fair use, educational purposes only.
Strong, independent black woman, it's not a compliment. I never hear a man that is raising children alone say, I'm mom and dad. He never becomes overly feminine because he's raising children.
Come on,
but we
sis.
as women become overly masculine because we are raising children, because I'm mom and dad and I got to do all right?
See, we got sis here with the short hairdo, but it's still feminine. It's not looking rough and manly like they try to portray our sisters on these series and television shows. So understand and decipher what I'm saying here. We're modern day Israelites here. Okay? She still looks feminine. She still looks amazingly beautiful. And she's speaking beautiful. She's saying, I don't think that the compliment of being called a strong black woman is a good thing. We got to get out of that. We already know Mom was strong and doing the best she could, but she didn't, with this agenda being pushed, they didn't have to be if they would have humbled themselves and stayed with their men in a lot of situations. I'm not saying in every situation. Common sense will tell you all situations are not the same. There's so many diverse lifestyles and shoes that people have walked through. We can't just focus on the negative to not be able to bring a point to the positive and what's evident.
Now I put extra stuff on me and then I say, ain't nobody helping me. Well, nobody told you to do that. There is help available, all because I was trying to overcompensate for what daddy wasn't doing. I didn't have to be mom and dad. Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations, because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime
and guess what? She sure do need help, and there's nothing wrong if you had a relationship in the past. You say, listen, they didn't have the truth. They didn't see eye to eye, but let the father be in the children's lives. So they don't grow up with this gap missing in their personalities, in their mindsets, where the woman cannot fully function because she haven't been around the dad, where a man has fear because he doesn't have enough faith because he haven't been around his father. Look at Joseph. Joseph went through a hard time and came out a G, a strong man. Let me tell you, the more you put a man through, what don't kill him gonna make him stronger. Facts. If he apply himself, whatever don't kill him gonna make him stronger. But women worrying about their part of the relationship with a man, and as if every man didn't love his children. So your relationship with that man wasn't the same relationship with him and his children. Not in every situation. Some men outright crazy, and you shouldn't have married them. So please don't highlight minute scenarios here, because those are obviously just special scenarios. If most women would have said, hey, can the son come stay with you for a little bit, whatever the case may be, you can raise him to be a man. And some women have actually done that. Very few women, they have done that though. They don't get credit for it, but I know some women have actually done that. But if more women would have done it, they believe it or not, a lot of men would have preferred to raise their children. And yes, he was going to get him a new wife. And yes, you were going to be able to see your kids. But you would have been able to do what a woman could have done. Got you another man, started you a new life, whatever the case may be. You still have a relationship with your children, but you didn't have it all on you, all of it. Because now later, once again, they move on, they get married. You got to still pay that house note, them bills. And you left alone because men don't really want an older woman. If she have children or she don't. Like, it's just rough to do such a thing. Or if he's coming in there, it's dudes and children in the house, he can't walk around with his boxers on. He can't put his foot down because he's afraid somebody gonna pull a pistol out on him. He got a whisper in the house. Don't you talk to my boys like that. Hey, this is not a boy no more. This is a grown man. Amen.
Love it, you so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.
Now, and one thing I can respect about this sister, I don't know who she is. You could tell she's a little bit mature. The sister has some discipline about herself, or probably why she's thinking this way. You could tell the sister is working out. You could tell she's not in her 20s. When you work out, it changes your mind. It makes you want to do other things better. God made us healthy in this temple. Get yourself together. I'm going to tell you, sister, something too. A lot of you don't even know your full potential. And let me tell you, you're talking to a handsome man. I know I'm handsome. So I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I can give some advice on this. I haven't had problem getting women. And I'm telling a lot of sisters for a reason. You don't know your full potential. If you work out, eat high protein, low carb, get yourself together, and you look at yourself in the mirror, you haven't seen all of these women that's on the internet who work out and they was maybe 300 pounds and now they 150, and how beautiful they look. They look how God intended them to be. It's no knock on people who are not that way. That doesn't mean they don't have a good spirit. But I'm going to tell you, some of you are shorting yourselves. If I'm being rude or hateful for that, I apologize. That's not my intentions. But I'm telling you, I'm a fitness expert, and I know men and women. You can see a man 250, let him tone down to 225, 210. He looks totally like a prince, totally handsome. We got to get a little bit more discipline about ourselves too, is what I'm saying. Clean that gut out. It's going to clean them parasites, clean that spirit out. It's going to make you start to have positive thoughts. And I'm going to tell you, you start to become a light bulb that's less dusty, and you shining more bright, and more men is looking at you as they should be. I'm just telling you, a man should be looking at you. If I'm a lion in the savannah, and you don't look like something that I should go and catch to eat, I'm not saying you need to do what the worldly women are doing, because I'm going to tell you, a godly man, he can see a righteous spirit from miles away. He don't need to see no butt cheeks. He don't need to see no carnality. He can tell beauty like Sarah. But still, you should have some type of appealing towards you. If you just want to be too humble where you can't be seen, how he gonna see your face at all? If you wearing a little Muslim joint where it's only the eyes and you expect to get married, I get your humility. Your humility is great, but it's like Solomon said, it's a time and place for everything. You're becoming too humble. Oh, girl, you so beautiful. You know damn well he's lying. He can't see nothing but your eyes is green or something. But you take that joint off. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, nah. And then sisters be like, oh, I don't know why I don't have a husband. You don't work out. Your energy is low. You're negative. Work out to get you some energy. I've been trying to put you guys on game with the colloidal copper to unbind your iron from your tissues, because it's not only in your blood vessels. It's not. That's a lie. It's bound in your tissues. You're going to have more energy. You know what I mean? You're going to be vibrant. Oh, do you need any help with anything? Hey, man, like that. Can't walk around all rough like these sisters in pride with their head up just because they have a booty. They think that's all they need. They walk around with an attitude like they know they like you, but they waiting on you to holler first, but really they like you more the woman like the man more than the man actually does. We have to change this. So I'm just saying, let me tell you, my sister right here got it going on. Face is glowing, working out. We need to stay disciplined and don't stop until we become the best version of ourselves. Who wants to have a temple? Who wants to have a temple that God have given them and don't want it to be clean, don't want it to be on point the best it can be? I'm just saying, just give it your all, give it your best through appreciation of the Most High. You can't, nobody finna tell me looks don't matter. If Sarah was one of the most beautiful women in the land, they couldn't tell she was beautiful just because of her insides, because they wouldn't have gotten a chance to know her, because Abraham wasn't on it like that. He ain't finna let everybody know his wife. It's just weights and just measures. How will she be called the most beautiful woman if nobody could see her? And we're not talking about unrighteousness. If you dress right modestly and you carrying yourself righteously, you're going to stand out more than other women anyway. Because these other women, we already know what they about. Somebody have to tell you the truth. Hate me for telling you the truth, I don't care. But let me tell you, if you looked at yourself in the mirror, if you ever did a weight loss challenge or worked out, you know what I'm talking about. And you just allow those spirits to say, hey, don't listen to what he's saying. Who does he think he is? He's always talking about, here go them demons in your ear. Those thoughts are not your thoughts. You are not supposed to receive those thoughts because it's just demons whispering in your ear. And because you don't want to change, you are receiving thoughts that are not your own. The image of God would not think these thoughts. Demons speak them in all of our minds, and we're not supposed to receive them. I'm speaking motivation and encouragement and truth. It cuts asunder with a double-edged sword. But those who want it, they're going to receive it. For those who have ears, let them hear. And guess what? Tomorrow, we're not going to drop 10 pounds tomorrow. But it's about the process. Even a man also loves the process. If he said, hey, let's try to start doing this, and then you start falling off, and then he gets a little frustrated, you can't get mad at him for getting a little frustrated. He want to see you do your best. And it's vice versa for woman to a husband too. Husband is even the more for you because you got to be the example. You may have fallen off too far, and it may take you longer, but you got to be in love with the process, brother. Everybody have fallen off a little bit and ate a little much. We all like to eat. We black folks, we like to eat. But I'm going to tell you, we need to get back on it. The food does not have any nutrition in it. I have proved it. The farms are just feeding people because it's keeping people alive. It doesn't have nutrition of why we have to supplement, because the farms are, even the organic farms are sometimes using NPK, organic version. So even the organic practices would take years to have certain type of regenerative farming. It would take years to get the whole world back to the nutrient dense foods. It would take years. So I'm teaching you how to do it on a minute level as a body. It's that important, because when there's no more supplements, when I can't sell you any more supplements, or supplement company can't give you more supplements, your garden is going to have to be your nutrition again. But it's something that takes at least 2 to 4 years to get that much nutrients. That is a fact. It's not debatable at all. There's no gardener who will tell you anything otherwise. I used to live next door to a horticulturalist who went to Texas A&M University. I know what I'm talking about. That's all he does. He actually moved him and his family before I got on my land to a farm, like on a person's farm, to do this. We are talking facts right here. So let's get ourselves in shape. Sorry I went on a side tangent, but I care about our people enough to get them in shape and healthy. She said, don't call me a strong black woman. Now here we go. On the contrary. Pretty girl, but so what? What's inside? Let's see.
You work hard, you look good, you are responsible, you are educated, you save, invest, you take care of your bills, you are loyal, you got big dreams. Baby, you are a queen. Girl, look at.
So what she's saying, you know, it sounds very good. It sounds very encouraging, motivating, until you start to hear her speak other things. Don't let nobody tell you this. Don't let him tell you this, do this and that. Here comes the other side of it. But how are you a queen without a king? How are you Eve without an Adam? Huh? There's no such thing as, people are we're all kings and queens on surface, but we're talking about a actual queen. Right? There's no independent queens is all I'm saying. Now, some people could say, well, you look too much into that. No, I hear that same version all the time. You a queen. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Don't let him tell you this. Okay, so y'all all hanging around. Nobody having no babies around here? How are we being fruitful and multiplying the way God created us? We just going to be pretty and die? Is that what you telling us? Is that what you telling all these sisters? We all finna be in a party of raising our babies alone and just trying to understand each other, huh? Well, you got some other sisters like, girl, I hear what you're talking about, but I'm going home to my man. Just straight up. There's too much perfume up in here. It's too much gossip and talking about other people up in here. Can't do it. Huh? Right? Last one really quick. Just giving you different versions. It's not one version of our sisters and how they feel about the situation. They all should be heard.
People will see an independent woman and think like this is just what she loved to do. Why isn't that y'all look at it like this is a necessity for her? This was not a preference. We would love nothing more than to feel safe enough to be soft, to let down our...
Well, hold up, my sister. You can't speak for all sisters because all women are not the same. There's no we. It's just like, isn't it, you got righteous men. You got men that call themselves righteous who are whoremongers, really. You have bums, sorry dudes who will tell you, girl, I will drink your bath water because he's broke. He don't have nothing. He's going to tell you anything he need to tell you to fornicate, to lay you down. And then when you are around all of these dudes, you think that represents another caliber of men. Oh, no. You got wealthy, rich men who expect their women to be always totally in shape, keeping her body slim. Oh, yeah, when you go among rich crowds, that woman always needs to look petite. That it's total different calibers of men. And then you go sit at bars and things like that, think you're going to get one of these dudes. Man, he will lay down with you for the night, and then he's gone the next day because you got to be a certain way all the time. So she can't say we. You, sister. So when y'all listen to the sister, it's her. She don't speak for everybody. We don't know what she been through. We ain't judging her, but she damn sure can't speak for everybody. So I'm not saying everything she's going to say is bad, though. But what I'm saying is she can't speak for all sisters.
And to truly be vulnerable. But softness truly requires security, and not a lot of people can provide us with that. People.
See, here she go with the we. Softness, right? Which she said she wants to have security. Well, guess what? That comes with following 1 Corinthians 11. That comes with, let me get it here. I think that's 1 Peter's. And we're almost done here. 1 Peter's here. The behavior of wives and husbands. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. The key thing is sometimes sisters will get in the church or they'll be in the world. Their husband will tell them something at home They would go to the boss or some dude at the job, or listen to what their homegirl says another dude told them, come back to the husband and say, oh yeah, my homegirl said this dude said this. Sounds like a good idea, as if her husband want to hear what some other dude got to say in his own house. No, listen to your own husbands. Even if what he said is good, can you listen to your own husband? Well, my elder said this. Well, the elder's not your husband. Listen to your husband. The elder is going to help to guide. You understand? He's going to help to guide, but he's not over a man's household. That's up to y'all. We teach the scriptures, give wisdom, but it's up to the man to run his house according to the Lord after we give that. But you are to listen to your own husband. Right? So, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, if other sisters are watching you, and they make a mistake, they fall, they're new, whatever the case may be, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. So if the wives are keeping themselves as good examples, being lights, being pillars, guess what? What happens is you will be an example to weaker sisters to help them to get back on board, to convert them back. That's why you cannot become underlings to new sisters because if they're pretty or they can have a talent or they were famous. No, you be an example. Men and women, we be examples to the newcomers or people who are low or weak or still dealing with milk so that they can stay on point. Right? Check it out. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, meaning while they're listening to you speak and conversate in the body, in the congregation, they're hearing wisdom and how they should become, how they should act eventually. Whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair and the wearing of gold and the putting on of apparel, because that's all a new sister will focus on then. She's already coming out of the world focusing on those things. She needs to see, hey, even though we're pretty, even though we can dress nice, it's not all about that. It's all about gaining souls, my sisters. Okay? And verse 4, but let it be the hidden man of the heart. You don't have to be the loudest sister in the room getting the attention. Because usually when a man sees you're the loudest woman, you're going to be loud in his house too, slamming doors. He's going to be telling you something. You're going to be loud, talking loud. Oh, no. The Most High says he loves a quiet, silent woman. She talks, but she's pleasant. She knows timing. She's not trying to be that. Because when you're in the world, you got some sisters who they see a man they like. They try to be the loudest in the group of the girls, knowing that man is going to know she's fast and easy because she's really doing it because she wants him. But a righteous man is looking to see who's not trying to show off, who's not trying to get as much attention. She's a person who has a relationship with the Most High God. And he wants that because he's not going to have to tell her to pray. When he's reading the scriptures of the wicked woman, she's not going to get angry because she knows if she's doing that, she's just going to work on it. She's not going to say, you talking about me? Are you talking about other women? Why are you taking up for other women? Listen to your own husband right now. We just reading to educate ourselves. It talks about the wickedness of Solomon. It talked about some things David made mistakes from. You don't see men when we read them scriptures. Oh, man, they talking about men again. Oh, man, they talking about David. Here we go, talking about Solomon again. You never hear men going through this, do you? Yeah, because you only talk about women. No, these are spirits. Only spirits will reject. A wise man or woman listens to wisdom and grows from it. A sinful man will not be reproved, but find an excuse according to his will. Meaning, a spirit will jump in a person and reject the righteousness of the wisdom coming out. So they will not get wisdom. No different than a righteous man will flee, will not receive Satan, so the devil will flee from him. A righteous man or woman will resist it, and the devil will flee. See? But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible. Meaning, as you get older, you especially if you don't work out and take care of yourself, those things can diminish. The body types and all of the things like when you're in your 20s, especially if you don't work out. See, we lose proteins, we lose glutamine, we lose creatine, we lose amino acids as we get older. That's why we have to supplement it and work out to keep these things. So, but the soul and this, let me tell you, the soul and the spirit never dies. Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. Not a loud mouth. Yeah, girl. Yeah. See, let that bee say something else. See, I'm gonna take my slip off. I'm gonna take my heels off, girl. Let me finish this whiskey. I got something for her. I'm gonna show you who she really is. I'm gonna pull that bee weave out. Let me tell you, all types of craziness. And then they want to be wives. Yeah, you will be called a wannabe. Because you want to be something you do not act like you actually want to be. Okay? So, when it's time to talk, she talks. But she's not, you know what I mean? Just being vain. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. Today, even in Paul's time, the women were doing the same thing they do today. Their husband would tell them something, then they got to go hear from another man just to listen. Let me tell you, you got to be into your man to listen. You got to be into the Most High to listen. You got to be into the Christ to listen to your own husband. Obviously, when you have to listen to another man, you don't respect your own husband. And men, you got to be able to see that. Because if you stand around with a woman that don't respect you, that's on you. When we were all young, we were young. But when you become a man, you become a man, like Paul said. When I was a child, I did childish things. When I became a man, I put away childish things. I'm not going to be with a woman that don't respect me. One, I got to show respect for myself, that I'm an honorable man of God, do what I need to do. But if I know I'm a good husband, good father, good godly man, and I'm not saying I'm better than nobody, but I'm holding it down and a woman don't respect me, hey, she got to go respect somebody else. There's no reason for me to be sitting here wasting time with some woman. I can't really be fruitful because it says two can't walk together unless they agree. That's just the reality of it. Satan is in your house. If 1 Corinthians says it's one way and she's going another way, she's in the mindset of what we're talking about tonight. She wants to be independent. Like Lot's wife. All right? Fair use.
We forget and just don't even recognize that strength in our case truly came from absence, not abundance. We didn't want to choose to be the providers, the protectors, the problem solvers, but nobody else showed up, so we had to be that. So yes, we're independent, but it's not because we want to. It's not because we don't desire partnership. It's not because we don't desire support and someone to really lean on and love on us. We're truly independent because life has demanded it out of us.
And I understand what the sister is saying to a certain degree, and I know she's trying to speak for everybody who have been in her scenario, but the whole deal is, sis, you're not a teacher. You really, you're not really saying nothing new. What I would tell you if you ever watch this lesson or any other sister is, you need to open that Bible. You need to find Christ. Once you find Christ, you will find life. You can get with any man you want to get with in the world. You don't find Christ, you haven't found life. You haven't found your purpose. You must know yourself and your God even before getting with another man, or allow yourself to learn to where, or be graceful enough to be taught by a man of the Most High God to get to that point. We know our sisters went through a lot. That's why we have this show. We understand that. But it's like every day waking up just to say something positive like this makes you sound even more lonely. Do you want a man? There are good men out here. There are good sisters out here. But we must come through the door that Christ gave. Anybody who comes through another door is a thief and a robber. Or if you try to do it another way, it will continue to fail. It must be founded on the principles of Christ, who created marriage. We can't create our own version of it because of our experiences.
And being dependent on the wrong person in the past has cost us way too much. What we really want is to feel held without having to fall apart first, and love without proving why we are so worthy of it. So what y'all can do for us is just be there for us, support us, love on us, and show up time and time again, and that trust will build, and we will become these soft, beautiful people that y'all just want us to be so bad.
So she's saying, do this for us, and then we're gonna do that. You got it all wrong, sis. You got it all backwards. I'm gonna do this for you when you prove yourself to me. No, sis. Hey, I get that you've been through something. We're gonna keep you in prayer, but you're gonna have to follow and find Christ. Every time you try to find a man, unfortunately, you're not gonna find one. You're not. You're gonna find more confusion. You're going to become more empty. If you try to find Christ, guess what? Christ is going to fill your cup till it runneth over, because you are applying yourself and putting yourself and placing yourself in all the places in the scriptures it says to be. And a man by default, when he sees that, he's going to know that's rare. I see all of these, and the lion is going to see all of these impalas and all of these, all of this prey. I want that one. It's something about that one. I don't know if it's the horns. I don't know if it's the whatever, right? I don't know what it is. But I want that one. Now it's a spiritual guide leading that man to that woman, because he can see this woman is following the spirit of Christ. Not spirituality. Is she done?
Because it's inside of us. We were born to be feminine and soft and sweet. Do your part, we'll do ours. It is so.
Now, she has a point right there to a certain degree. But the way she went into the whole thing, I don't really know, what she fully means of how she's coming, especially speaking for every woman. But obviously, men, we definitely want to make sure before we think about a woman, she's right, that we do our part. But I'm really not trying to find a woman who's telling me what I need to be doing. If you coming straight off like that, you know what I mean? No. Like, hold up. What you gonna do for me? Hold up. Let me be able to get to that point if I can see you a follower of the Most High, I will tell you, I will tell you all of that. You don't even have to ask, because I have a plan. I'm going to tell you how we directing this thing, and you decide if you want to be down with it or not. And I can agree with some of the things you say. Hey, you ain't going to hurt me. You're going to love me. Yeah, man, for sure. Nah, that's totally understandable. I totally understand where you're coming from. I've been hurt before. Okay, cool. I'm listening to all of that. But just coming like, yeah, see, what you need to do is you got to check out, we queens. You listen, I ain't trying to hear all that. I wouldn't be coming to you if I didn't think you was a queen. But since you got all this other stuff going on, it sound like you saying we, it sound like it's some demons. Yeah. Huh? It sound like Legion is with you. We are many. I'm trying to come here for you. So I'm going to I got to get ready to get off of here. But I'm going to open up. Let me see. I'll open up the calls for like 5 to 7 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes if somebody want to call in. Let me see. Let me put the number up here. Let me turn my phone on here. Because I had to get off that Google thing. It wasn't doing it right. So, all right. Let me put up the call-in number is 512-915-7135. If you have a comment, right? If you've learned something, if you used to go through this and you learned something from the past, my sister, hey, you can call in. The number is 512-915-7135. All right. And if not, I know Elder's going to be teaching something when it comes to, I think, about the 4 categories of women tomorrow. All right. Dovetailing off of this lesson here in the spirit. So, like I said, if you have a quick testimony, it can't be 10-minute testimony because each call is only 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Then you can call in. But if not, we're going to get ready for next week because I do have to go into a powerful lesson about so much more information, man, on copper. We talked about the collagen, but I have to educate the people with some, groundbreaking information that a lot of people don't know, when it comes to this copper. So. One moment here. Hello? Okay. So we have a caller here. Give me one moment. I didn't know if this was something else. It's okay. How you doing? Who we got calling in?
I'm amazingly blessed. All praise to the Most High. Hiya. This is Nayara Asazama, and I am a member of your body.
All praises.
All praise to the Most High for the truth that you bring. And I was listening to the lesson tonight. My grandbaby kept coming in. I'm like, no, you have to go out. I need to hear this. But you made a statement about, letting the fathers be a part of our children's lives. Okay. And if it's
possible, obviously.
Yes, sir. But the thought came to my mind, if they're willing. And then the next immediate thought after that thought came, but then what was my attitude like at that time? And I know during those times, my attitude was not right. And I made things harder than it used to be just because of, you experience things and, you can grow angry and, these kinds of things. And, we have to also be willing to admit that there are things that we do or that we say or mentalities that we have, that will push the fathers away because they could be willing. I don't believe my children's fathers are bad men, yet, well, one of them was, okay, but I don't believe that they were bad men, but I do know when I reflect on how I was at the time my children were coming up, if I had not been the way that I was, I believe that they would have been around more than they were. And yes, I believe that. So I'm taking accountability, and we have to think about that.
So what do you think in short, you don't got to go through no details, that probably caused you to be like that? Just a lack of teaching or experience, or
a lack of I'm going to say a lack of love.
What do you mean?
Lack of love. And when you don't get it in the home, and then based upon different things that happen, from childhood coming up, those things can cause bitterness within you. If there's no one that has been there to protect you or to teach you certain things, or just, when there's a lot that can play into that. So it's not just one thing. For
Understood.
me, Yes, so it can be, many different things. And for me, it was. But by the time I had my children, a mindset had already set in and anger had already set in, so I was really, really rowdy during that time.
And that's the thing while I'm trying to teach, today that, in those situations, if sisters have went through that it's now time to really like we got baptized, let's start fresh and really get to know, because sometimes sisters will get in relationships, don't even know themselves or their God. And if they can start there, when they get into a new relationship, they're going to bring in peace, sweetness, love, patience. But if they don't know that, like you just said, you're going to bring the total opposite. So it's not fair for us to be joining men or women to couple with someone, because like the scripture says, a wicked man is given to the portion of a wicked woman and vice versa. So if we know, like, hey, I don't know who I am, I can't guide my woman, or the woman is not ready to be submissive and she's thinking, well, I think I can try. No, you can't think you can try. You must know. You must, like Christ said, it's going to be to us according to our faith. And I'm glad you called in tonight, because it just proved more. We have to start back with Christ first, understand what is marriage. What did he intend for us when it came to marriage? What was his purpose? And we can't put our own purposes on it. And we just, like you said, we just have to learn and just grow from it. And so I appreciate you calling in tonight. It was a very good testimony. And I pray that, sisters and brothers come in and hear this so that they can grow and have fruitful relationships in the near future, if it be the Most High's will. Thank you so much, my sister.
Fine. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
All praises to the Most High.
Yes, ma'am. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, that was a great. Let me tell you, that was very contrite, and I had other sisters that call in when we did shows like this and say, like, man, I could have done better. Maybe I lost my husband, whatever the case may be, because I was a certain way, and this is what the devil wanted. So when we bring these lessons out, man, it's to, if these sisters ever get to start something new, they will appreciate going into it, knowing what they know now. But if the knowledge was to never come out and people say, well, why are we always talking about sisters? Hey, it's sisters like this that's calling in that needs this knowledge. They want a successful marriage. Our sisters don't want to be lonely. Our sisters don't want to be not heard. And it's men like us who are telling them the truth and also able to listen and hear them, instead of some dude who just want to fornicate with them. He acting like the first thing he'll tell you is he's telling you everything. The man that's trying to help you is bad, because he wants you to work and take care of him, and he just want to lay down with you, and you're gonna be taking care of the kids. He wants to bring you back into the curses. But a righteous man wants to bring her up to speed because he knows her worth. Like Christ did Mary Magdalene. He had mercy on her. He said, listen, just sin no more. As long as you're not going to sin anymore, don't worry about it. The Most High is going to be able to deal with you and bring you up and restore you. Right? So that's all we have for tonight. Okay. I appreciate my sister calling in. Next week, I must go into the copper, because it's so many people that needs to know and understand this. I'm going to be going into a book that a lot of people I know haven't read, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't even know, like, they may be suffering just because they don't have a regular intake of copper and magnesium. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm only going to go through 2 highlighted chapters, and you're going to be like, what? I have to do it because I have to make sure people are on point. You don't need to be taking 1,000 things if you ain't taking this. This may be what's going on. They got you guessing all over here, taking this, taking that, doing this, taking that. Let me tell you, the first thing you need to be taking is in some prayer, right? Taking some steps, taking some breaths, because you working out. And then we can go from there. Okay, number 1 mineral missing, copper. That's why we have so much anemia. Bound in the tissues, not just the blood. When you go in there, they telling you about the blood. They're not telling you the iron that's bound in the tissue. While you have oxidation and free radicals going on. While you got high cholesterol. You probably don't even know all these things have something to do with each other, but you're going to learn next week. You're going to learn. Oh, you're not going to have to guess no more because, like I told you, go and watch my collagen lesson first. Go back and watch my collagen lesson, and then we're going to bring it around to you a little bit more about copper. Like, we're going to go a little bit more in detail about copper and magnesium. But more so copper. Okay? You're not going to be tired no more forever. You're not going to be tired no more. Okay? I'm talking about SIBO. I'm talking about gut issues because you lacking copper, magnesium, collagen. Yeah. So as we go in time, I bring out more and more. I can't bring it all out at once. I give you bits and pieces because it's so much information. But I assumed, like everybody else, that we were all getting copper from the food until I had to study a little bit more about the fertilizers and the glyphosate, how it is binding all of the minerals from even entering the plant. So the bacteria and the fungi cannot deliver it to the plant. And that's and this is where all of they fighting over this fertilizer just to feed people, but people have no nutrition. I'm telling you what I'm telling you is a fact. This is not an opinion. This is not something I'm making up. This is not a thought. No. This is a fact. Just because your vegetable is green and filled with nitrogen don't mean it's filled with your minerals. I'm an athlete, so I know what I'm talking about. I can feel everything in my body when I'm going to catch a cramp. My sleep patterns, all that. Hormones. I'm one who actually really, really knows my body. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to go to historytimes.org. I don't want to give my whole lesson away tonight because I'll be going. But I smell that good old chicken. I heard some frying and some good oil. And, you know, some of that good coconut oil, some of that olive oil or some. I smell it coming through. Okay? And if you want to donate, go to gatheringofchrist.org. And let's build this kingdom together. My sisters, you can do it. Thank you for tuning in. Although this sister is all over the place, our sisters are still beautiful. We love our sisters. You get what I'm saying? And, you know, they trying to speak their little piece, but they going to need man to deliver that message. Righteous men. Shalom to everybody. Stay tuned and go to our channel tomorrow, A Gathering 144, all right? Peace and blessings to you all. Shalom.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth